Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley, and it's Canada Day here, so I'm representing Happy Canada Day for our Canadian listeners, followers, watchers, wherever you are doing this. I know it's your big holiday this week too, so happy early Independence Day, but we'll probably see you before then, knowing us, so
Yeah.
we'll have a whole other celebration for that.
Right.
Yes.
4th of July is coming. So today we are covering, obviously, we're here every day for it, Love Island, because we had
Yep.
a decent episode last night. We'll get into that, and then we'll get into, there was a Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion, so
Yes.
Ashley's going to fill us in on that because I didn't watch it yet. So.
Yeah, we were both gonna watch it, and then I watched about half, and I told her, you know what, it's not really worth watching and fully covering. I mean, it was a lot of flashbacks and not a lot of tea. They did give a little bit, so we'll talk about it at the end. But yeah, it's really hard for them to talk about much because they're literally about to release season 3. So a lot of the big questions we've had, they're like, that's coming in the season. So the reunion, I don't know if it was necessary, but we do love to get a reunion, so I don't want them to stop that. So, but yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. So what Love Island USA episode was this number? We don't trust my numbers. So
25. It was
25. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 25. So it started off with the boys having a little debrief and the girls having a little debrief. So what did you think about Nick being so mad at the Elon situation? Elan.
I felt like his energy towards the boys versus when he spoke to Elin was very different. And same with Elin, right? Like Elin was like, I'm not going to apologize for kissing Cierra, and then went in with his tail tucked, like both of them did. I didn't understand why a conversation was necessary, to be honest. Like,
No.
at that point, Nic and Cierra weren't closed off yet. So I'm not really sure what Nic was upset about. Like, he's explored all he's wanted to with every single person. Like, you're just coming off the heels of a kiss with Olandria. I don't think he had room to speak, but I thought it was so funny that to the boys, he's like, yeah, I want to put on my boxing gloves and punch him. And then to the Casa boys, Elan's like, yeah, like, I'm not going to apologize. And then it's like, when they get in each other's face, it's just like, oh, well, yeah, like, I didn't intend to bring her pancakes, but then I just had an epiphany to bring her pancakes, and like, I'm just still trying to navigate
pancakes.
how they need a sponsorship with IHOP at this point. I'm like, what is going on? Especially Huda, but we'll get there. But I just thought, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, to me, it was like their chat was unnecessary. You know, Elin ain't going to be here long, so Nic don't have to.
I thought it was, weird that he would make a big deal out of it because we've seen him explore this whole time. He's never not explored anything he wanted to. Obviously, she wasn't always happy about it, but I didn't see her get as upset as he was. And, you know, Elan was her other connection at Casa. Obviously, he's in the villa now. He's going to kiss her in a challenge. Like, that's just the way it's going to go down. And I was surprised that he made such a big deal out of it. I feel like he should have been more confident in their connection. I mean, she's the one who seemed like she wants to close it off for a while. So, yeah, it was weird to me that he would be threatened by him. Maybe because he looks so similar, which I still don't think he does, but I was shocked to see him seem like insecure about it.
Yeah, I think it seems like Nic got very insecure after Casa. Like, the fact that nobody picked him in Casa, I think, is a huge bruise to his ego, is what it seems like.
Yeah, and I feel like he should understand that it's definitely only because he was the least open and these girls wanted to get back to the villa. If he had gone in there without a connection that he was literally already sleeping with, I'm sure he would have been the hot commodity. But I think they all knew, like, if he brings me back, like, no one is going to, it's not going to go well. People are going to pick Cierra's side. They would be that other woman that everyone was mad at. So I think it was just about that. But his demeanor has been so different since after Casa. Like I said, he looks at Olandria differently. He seemed happier, but I think that was just in general. He just, seems in his head now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even when he's with Cierra and they were having this like romantic date, I felt like he wasn't fully in it, but I don't know if that's just other things going on or if it's he kind of feels like he's gone so far with this connection, and now I know she's talking a lot about the outside world and when we get out, but do you think he's feeling it as much?
I don't know. Like, I think like Rick, Nick for me is really hard to read. And it's like he's so likable, and I want to not like him so bad because I just justice for Jeremiah, and like I just
Yeah.
don't like followers and how they move. But like I don't know. He's so hard to read because it's like on one hand, it's like I really do think he likes Sierra, but I did see something. I did see something today on
But
TikTok that was like, and I never thought about it this way, but like we both know that Sierra is a big Love Island fan. She actually
yeah.
had a Love Island themed birthday party, and she's friends with a lot of people from previous cast.
Yes.
So, and I would say that Sierra's a favorite. Like she's gotten a very good representation. She's gotten a really good edit. And somebody said that Sierra is like playing the game because she knows how to. If anyone knows how to, it's her because she's such a huge fan of the show. But I think that Sierra genuinely likes Nick. I feel like Nick genuinely likes Sierra, but I don't know if it'll last on the outside. I don't know.
I agree. Like I do think they like each other, but I don't know if they have that level of, compatibility and liking to carry on outside after the show. Especially Nick. I mean, the way he's talked about being in an open relationship, and he's going to come off the show with so many admirers, and I can't imagine, like, the cast from last season is still together, and that's super impressive because it must be hard when you come off becoming famous, getting all these people, and I just don't see Nick turning that down for the connection that we see so far.
Yeah, I agree. Like he's very like whatever's in his face in the moment. So there's going to be a lot of people in his face when he gets out of here. So I don't remember where both of them live, but I don't know. I don't see it, but I've been wrong before. I didn't see it with Janae and Kenny. I thought Kenny was full of shit, and look, I was wrong. So what do I know, but I don't know. Yeah, we saw them close it off. I figured that was coming. Like that was kind of obvious.
The next step.
It's the next step. I feel like Ace and Shelley are going to close it off this week sometime. I feel like their little fight was like, we went through something, we got through something, we went through a hurdle, I feel like they're going to close it off before the week is done,
I do feel like they're still playing that game that they've been playing the whole time, though, where it's like neither of them wants to be that first one to say, I want to close it off. Like they keep wanting the other one to do it, whether that's real or manufactured. But I'm like, just one of them say it already. Because obviously she's keeping.
I think Ace should be the one to say it, right?
Yeah. And I think I totally agree. And he is being stubborn, and this is how he's acted the whole time. I feel like he could have zoned in on Shelley way earlier. Even like his exploring we've seen hasn't felt genuine. So what is he waiting for at this point? It's like she's obviously pretending to entertain Chris or entertaining him just to put that pressure on Ace, and he's not like caving yet, but I think he will for sure.
Yeah, I think he will. And it almost seemed like you said, like she's talking, she keeps saying like, well, we're open. And to me, she's like, we're open, so close it off, like type thing. And he's taking it as like, well, she wants to be open so she can explore Chris. And it's like, no, like to your point, like she's only entertaining Chris to light that fire under your ass to close it off. But then he's on the opposite end, like, well, I don't want to close it off to make it seem like I'm being possessive over her so that she doesn't explore Chris. So it just seems like they're on two different pages. I think the episode opened up with them chatting and him kind of, I just remember in that chat, like him being like, yeah, like Huda did do like a little bit too much, but like so did you. And like instantly went into Shelley doing too much in her challenge and didn't acknowledge at all that he did too much. But also Shelley did not. She had a certain energy in the confessional that she didn't have with him in his face. She said to him, I'm not mad at you. You didn't do anything wrong. So he instantly, I didn't do anything wrong, but you did. I don't like how you moved with Chris, when in actuality, she felt like he did too much with Huda too. I feel like he did too much. He grabbed her butt. He was the one that started bouncing her, but you went into the conversation telling him that he didn't do anything wrong. And he just said, oh yeah, Huda did too much. And like didn't acknowledge that he did too much at all, and like instantly went at Shelley for kissing Chris twice.
Yeah, because we've seen the way he acts when he's not entertaining something, like the way he acted to Amaya in that one challenge where he was like turning his head and not feeling it. And so he could have done that with Huda, and then I don't think she would have gone as far to whatever they're saying got cut out. I did watch it too, and something got cut out because she goes and flips around on him, and then the next second she's walking away. And so we missed whatever happened when she turned around, which some people are saying she put it on his face and all this stuff. Because obviously the entire cast was shocked. So it wasn't just a simple like bouncing or something. Like something went down. And I feel like if he wasn't giving her the energy, she wouldn't have gone that far. So it was definitely mutual. And she should have had the same energy for Ace for sure.
I think so. I think if you're upset, I thought hearing her go into that conversation and say, I'm not mad at you was wild, because I think she should have started that conversation and say, you did too much, especially if he's telling her, well, you went back for seconds with Chris. But I get, like, I saw Shelley go around the circle and she looked up and Ace was still kissing people. So it's like at that point you're just standing there looking dumb. So you're like, okay, like act like I'm not done either, but you didn't have to go back to Chris. And to his point, it's like you went back to Chris because there's a comfort there and you're building something on the outside with him. I think it wouldn't have been anything for Shelley to acknowledge his feelings and say, I see how you feel like that, and I apologize. It's almost like neither one of them want to apologize or take accountability. Like they're just like, they want to be right and they want to be heard. So it's like they're not listening to what the other one is saying, because I think Shelley could have just said, okay, yeah, I understand why you feel that way and I apologize, but I also feel this way. I don't feel like Shelley was being truthful in like how she felt about the Huda thing, because I think if you're going to have smoke for Huda, you have to have smoke for Ace too, because he was doing a lot too. Like, I'm sorry. Like, people were saying that she sat on his face. Apparently it's a common midnight ballerina move. So, like, bouncing on your face. And if you did that, like, and you let her do that, I'm beating both y'all asses. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely could have stopped it, or like, he was giving her so much and she just got carried away, I think, because he was feeling it. Like, if he wasn't, he could have not given her that vibe.
I think at one point in their conversation, he was like, I know it appeared like I was enjoying it. It's like,
yes, it did.
Sir, you fucking were. What are you talking about right now? I know it appeared like I was enjoying it or whatever. But
like, what does not enjoying it look like then? Because he had his hands all up in there, and like you could tell he was like, he went in for the kisses. Like, he definitely could have swerved it a little bit and played it more like, like, I have to do this, but I don't really want to egg it on. Whereas he was egging it on a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I think it was a lot, but this isn't the first time we've seen Huda and Ace kiss at a challenge, so it couldn't have been the kiss. We've seen them kiss before. It just seemed like a lot. It just seemed like a lot, especially if you turned around and backed your vagina up into his nose. That's extreme.
Yeah, that is extreme. And I'm like, I know we talked last time about JD saying she like crossed some kind of line in the challenge, which we still don't really know what happened there. But yeah, we've talked also before about what are they consenting to in these challenges? Because I mean, in some of them, they were literally tied up. So what if you're not comfortable with certain touches or moves? Like, is there guidelines put in place, I wonder? Because I would think if it was a kissing challenge, you're like, you can kiss them and touch them, but maybe like don't put your crotch on their face. I don't know. That might be a guideline
maybe
to
don't
have.
lick their penis. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I did that too to Jeremiah.
And we have to do this a lot with Huda, where it's like, what if it was reversed? What if one of them put his thing on her face without her wanting that? Like, that would be, we would be up in arms. So
yeah.
It's hard because Ace clearly enjoyed it, and he was not giving any signs of like, don't do this, but also you're in front of everyone, you don't want to be embarrassed. Like,
and I think he was probably assisting it, just based on how he was doing it from the opposite end. He was probably assisting it. So I do think that she should have had some energy for Ace. The fact that you spoke to Ace that night and you chose not to speak to Huda. Now, I don't think there was anything wrong with her not speaking to Huda. I
No.
think it's okay to say, hey, I need a minute. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to receive, or I'm going to be able to receive the information because we're so upset. And of course, then we see Huda do what she does and misconstrue her words and go tell Amaya
She won't
she
talk
doesn't
to
want to
me.
talk to me. She won't talk to me, you know?
Yeah, and I think for Shelley in that moment when they went to go talk and she was upset, and I think she could already tell Huda was about to cry or crying, and that she was probably like, I don't want to do this. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm trying to tell you what you did wrong. You're already crying. How am I going to get across to you what you did wrong? Because I'm going to look like the bad guy if you're crying and I'm trying to tell you what you did wrong. So
Yeah.
I see why she stopped it. Also, so she didn't crash out, like if you're really angry, not the best time to have the talk. So I thought that was really emotionally mature of her.
Yeah.
I think coulda should have done that a lot in the past, but yeah, for her to go and tell everyone she won't talk to me, she easily could have said she wants to talk to me tomorrow, and everyone would have been like, "Oh, great call, that's smart." But instead, she made it herself the victim again, like she won't speak to me, and they were like, "Oh, damn!" Like, yeah,
Victimizes herself, and I'm so tired of it. Even, and you could tell the girls are tired of it. Now you
yes,
notice that in this episode, she's going and talking to the Casa girls at this point because no one wants to fucking hear it. Like the fact that you even like sat next to Elandria and's like, "Hey, girl, I'm a terrible person,"
that's
and Elandria's
that's
like, "You're
the
not."
word.
Yeah, yeah, like she's like, "You're not a terrible person, but it was a lot." And Elandria just got up, like you could tell that they're just over her victimizing herself and oh
Hmm.
woe is me, because you could have sat down and been like, hey girl, like what did I like, can you explain to me where I went wrong, like if you wanted
Yeah.
to have a conversation, but you're already like,
Yeah, or be like, I feel bad that I made Shelley feel that way, or like, which she did say in her confessionals, which sometimes I feel like they're being told a little bit of what they should say to sound better. Because the way she was talking out to everyone else was she was the victim, but then when she went in her confessional, it was, oh, I feel so bad I made her feel that way, which didn't seem like a natural thing for her to say. Or maybe she just thought about it more about what she did, but I get her not understanding exactly because it's a challenge and they've been telling her to do that, but I think people are confusing, like everyone was telling her to treat challenges like challenges when it came to the other women and her man, not the way she participates in a challenge. She's been participating the whole time. When she was with Jeremiah, she was still making out. She never not participated, so that was never what the issue was. So so many comments are like, you wanted her to participate and now she is, and it's like that's not what the criticisms were.
yeah, I
They
think
were
people they just want to defend her honor, like you know what I mean, and it's just kind of like it's wild to me because like you said, she never didn't participate in the challenges. That's why it was
yeah.
that was the problem, was like you just kissed Pepe and Jalen and then you're gonna bend over backwards and tell Jeremiah not to kiss
And call her a
Iris,
bitch.
like and call her a bitch. Like you just kissed two guys, so you've been participating, you've been doing your big one, like you've been having fun, but just like wouldn't allow Jeremiah to do it. So it's like and then it's like when nobody else was validating her feelings, she went to Chris and started moping, and Chris
Mm,
was, you know, and again, I could see her taking the attention she's getting from Chris and just eating it up, eating it up,
mm.
eating it up, you know?
And she's already criticizing him the way she does to everyone with the pancakes and the flowers. And I get her feeling like I think that it was okay for her to feel that way. But I mean, he's telling you with his actions and his words that Shelley was his number one. That's who he was there for. You are the second choice. So you are maybe not going to get the same attention because he wants Shelley to know that he wants her. So she's not thinking critically. She's like, thinking he owes her something already. Like that's what Jeremiah said the huge problem was with them is her expectations were so high. And she's already putting that on Chris, where she should really be thinking, yeah, he's not as into me. Do I really want to wait around and be the second choice? Like she could have seen that in that moment and tried to talk to someone else, but she wants to be the second choice. So you're going to get treated like that then.
Yeah. I just think like there's certain things, like everything doesn't need to be addressed. So
No.
if you keep the flour and the pancake, like you don't have to address it. It's
Yeah.
okay to just see it and like, but again, and again, and if Chris would have in that moment said, hey, I told you that Shelley is my number one. And so, yeah, I did a little something extra for her. It's no offense to you, but it was just to do something extra for her. To me, that's the proper response. But instead, he apologized for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mean to make you feel that way. And then even just her language, like, you made me feel like the side girl. There is no side girl,
He
main
was
girl.
confused.
There's no girlfriend. There's no, you know what I mean? And you're using words like favoritism or whatever. He has told you that Shelley is his number one. So she essentially is his favorite. And he did a little something extra for her, but you have to be so confrontational about everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, because he handled it calmly and just apologized to her, people are like, oh my God, like, they're so great together. Like, you see how he handles her. He's so calm with her.
Which I'm making a note of that now because I know everyone is like, Chris is amazing. He treats her so well. But if she ends up crashing out on him in 10 days, they're all going to blame Chris. So I'm like, I remember what you guys are saying now. He's amazing. He's mature. And that Jeremiah was the problem. So, and I do think certain men or relationships bring out different energies in you. But the way she's already coming at him a little, I don't see her that not getting worse over the time because
nobody sees it that way. Where her defenders don't. Like, they don't, they see it as like, oh my God, there's this calmness in her, this peace in her. And I'm like, where are you guys seeing that? Because I'm seeing you're already being confrontational. I'm seeing that you're already bringing issues to this man's feet that don't need to be brought to his feet. Because why do you give a fuck about a pancake? And then it's like Amaya and the Casa girls. Oh no, a flower. Like, they're validating her feelings. And
did you
that's
think they were validating, or were they making fun of her a little bit? Like, they're just so done with it that they were like,
no,
you know
I
what
don't
I
think
mean?
they're done with it. I don't think they're
No.
done with it yet. It's because she was talking to the Casa girls and Amaya. So
Yeah.
they don't have the same, like, they're not as stressed out and like over Huda as the rest of the girls. Now,
True.
if they were, she wouldn't dare have that conversation with the rest of the girls because they would have been like, girl,
No
he
more
liked Shelley.
pancakes.
Like, that was Shelley's connection first. Like, so what if he did something extra for her? Like, but the Costa girls were like, oh my God, no, a flower. Amaya's like, oh no, a flower. I can't wait till Amaya sees on movie night how Huda was talking about her, because I think that's going to be an eye opener for her. But I don't know. Her behavior to me essentially is the same. We'll get to her talk with Chris at the end, because even that was like, you know what I mean? Like, what are, you know, like, we're gonna, fortunately for her, I don't think we have 10 days to see her crash out. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, there's still, wait, I think the finale is the 13th. So for them, yeah, they don't have 10 days left. They maybe have like 9, 8, I don't know. But it's less than 2 weeks now. So
that's crazy. And we don't have an episode every day. So
no. So yeah, we're getting down to the wire here. I was wondering why Chris was interested in Huda, and then at the end he said he attracts emotionally unstable women. And so I was like, oh no, this is...
And she's like, am I emotionally unstable? Yes, you are. You are. They have your picture in the dictionary next to it. What do you think of her saying, do you think it would have been better if I was ugly?
What was that about? That was a very odd thing to say. I don't know what she was trying to insinuate. Like, it was, yeah, even when she also said to the girls, like, oh, I think Shelley's mad because, like, she's interested in Chris, but I brought him back here. So, like, I'm not, she thinks, like, now me going for Ace, like, I'm trying to take her man again. And it's like, no, Chris and Shelley are interested in each other. And then you brought Chris back, but you know, I don't think she thought that was you trying to steal him. Didn't she try to say, I brought him back for you, right? So, yeah, their interpretation of things is always very odd.
Yeah, because Shelley was more so like, well, yeah, you brought him back for yourself. Like, just keep it real.
Yeah.
You know, but I think, like, it's like, I don't know what she meant by that comment either. Like, in what world do you think that this has to do with attraction level? Everyone in this house is beautiful.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with how you look. It's about the principle. You can't even, you're like, her thoughts are so like surface level. Like, her thoughts are so like, it's just because I'm a bad bitch and I look good. And that's, her defenders are all in my comments. They're just mad because she can dance. They're just mad because she looked the best doing it. They're just mad. And it's like, it's the principle.
They're all hot.
Yeah, they're all hot. Don't nobody give a fuck that you
It was her wording too. Like, it would be better if I was ugly. It's just weird because, yeah, who is ugly? Nobody there. So what's she trying to say? Like, if she could have said, would it be better if I was less hot maybe, or not this hot? Like, that would be better because you're still saying the other women are hot. But just to say ugly, like, no one, why is she using that word? Like, it was so easy for her to be like,
ugly. Nobody here is ugly. And it's not about you being attractive.
Mhm.
It's not about you being attractive. It's about you not wanting me to do this on your man, so don't do it on my man. Like, what's so
Yeah.
hard to comprehend? Like, I
I
do
think that's
think that
what,
Shelley should have had the talk with her though. Like, you told her
yeah.
you talked to her tomorrow and then you didn't. But if you don't want to, you don't want to. Like if you
Mhm.
I think Shelley has seen enough, right? To be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be this girl's friend anymore. So clearly a lot has transpired that we haven't really seen. So
Yes, and that's what people are also forgetting, right? Like we don't know who had an interest in Jeremiah originally, and none of them explored that because of Huda. So it's hard for them to just accept everything she's doing right now without feeling like she's completely a hypocrite, because I'm sure quite a few of them would have liked to explore him and maybe he would have found a better connection, and he never got that opportunity and they never got that. So she robbed them all of that. But they can't go backwards. They can only go forwards. But I understand. People are looking at it as though she participated in the challenge. What more do you want from her? But it's so much more that's gone on besides
yeah.
that. So, but I hate this because I remember last season, I loved Leah just based off of what I saw. But I do remember a lot of people didn't like her, right? And I remember seeing those videos and comments and being like, they're crazy. And so I wish, like, I want to be a Huda lover and defend her, but I just have to be real, and I don't get it. Like, I just don't know what people are defending. Like, for
Yeah.
Leah, I felt like I saw a lot of good, and I loved a lot of her relationships, but with Huda, like, I can't name one amazing thing going
Yeah.
on there. I don't get what we're defending. So I
Yeah.
don't like
I
being on this side, but I feel like I would be so fake to be like, oh, I love her. Like, she's great. So I don't
yeah.
know what
Yeah,
they're seeing.
I think the difference is, yeah, like Leah at least had those close friendships with the girls, and like she
Hmm.
had a camaraderie with Janae and Serena that we seen. And she wasn't selfish, right? Like when Serena was going through something, we seen her running and trying to talk to her and trying to console her and trying to comfort her. And we don't see that with Huda. We're just seeing
No.
me. I'm gonna cry every time I
Hmm.
do something wrong. I'm victimizing myself. Everything's about me. Um, honestly, she gets on my effing nerves. Like I can't
Yeah.
stand the girl. So
No. And that's the thing. If we only saw the negative stuff with her and Jeremiah, but she had all this other amazing stuff going on, I feel like I could definitely be like, maybe it was Jeremiah. Maybe we don't know enough. But everything we've seen and every person has seen, no one has said, like, defended her, and they live with her. So, yeah,
yeah,
until we hear or see better, every episode, I keep hoping we're going to see better. And even on this one, I didn't watch it before I saw comments, and all her defenders were like, "Oh, what a great episode!" Like her and Chris. Yes, I was like, "Oh, good." But then after I watched it, I was like, "What are we liking about this?" Like she's getting mad about
what do you
pancakes again. I
what do you
don't get it.
think about her and Chris's conversation in the speakeasy at the end of the episode?
I don't know. Like I do think his energy could be good for her, but she gives me it's like I think she loves confrontation. She loves fights. And she's going to keep picking at him until they have a fight. That's just the way she is. It's like she's looking for the problems, right? He's so chill. But I don't know. I just sense that she isn't gonna be able to keep it together. I don't feel like he really likes her that much. I think he wants to stay. He knows Shelley's not an option. Obviously, Huda's beautiful, and I think he's trying, but I think when you've seen someone's behavior, it's hard to be attracted to them, right? So I think he's
Yeah,
trying, but
unless
I don't.
you like that. There are some guys that like
True.
that behavior. So if he's one of those guys that like kind of, like how JD
Mhm.
had kind of came in and was like basically let her know like I've seen it. I like it. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
There's some guys that like it. He says he likes emotionally unstable women. She's very emotionally unstable. I felt
Hmm.
like that kiss at the end, like why so much tongue? Like why are we like licking his face? Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like now that we've seen them kiss and now that, to her, he said he's going to take a step back. He didn't say he's going to stop pursuing Shelley. He said, I'm going to take a step back because she's not giving me anything back. I do
Hmm.
feel like we're going to see Hurricane Huda if he does decide to pull Shelley for a chat or continue conversations with her or
Hmm.
anyone for that matter.
I would like to see him with Andreina. I don't know what's going on with her. Like, why they all seem. I don't know if it's because she was with Jeremiah, but she has like been like canceled by them all. What's happening? What was with the chat with Pepe? Do you think that was weird?
No, like to me, he's just like I would like to see Chris with Amaya, actually.
Yeah.
We've seen him kind of admiring her from
Hmm.
afar.
Yeah.
Her and Zach K are obviously not going to work out because we see him moving over to Alandria, but like Yeah, I'm like, when and Andreina came in the villa, Pepe was speaking different languages,
Yeah.
like he was all for it. So I was surprised that for Graceland, I'm sorry, I would dump everyone in my life for Andreina, and I don't even like
Yeah.
women. Like, like you friend zone Andreina, and then Brian said she's boring. Like Jeremiah
Yeah.
said that she's really funny.
See, that's the thing I said last time too, right? I think her chat is not good and she's not connecting with them, but she really did with Jeremiah, which I think just goes to prove how real that connection actually was. And it sucks that he got sent home because they thought he was doing the same thing as he did with Huda, but I do think they had a great connection. So,
And you know what someone pointed out to me in my comments is like, usually bombshells get to save people. Remember that? Like, in
oh
what
yeah.
world do bombshells come in and not get to choose their partner
Hmm.
before an elimination?
Yeah.
Usually a bombshell gets to steal someone's man or pick whatever freaking person that they want. So
Yeah.
that would have even been cool to let the boys like, and I know we're so past it and we can't fix it, and Jeremiah's home and he's
I
not coming back, but like,
know.
if they would have got to eliminate him and then be like, oh, TJ and Reina have the chance to save
Yeah.
one
That
person.
would have been
You know what I
great.
mean?
Yeah.
That would have been great. But whatever. Yeah,
Hmm.
like, I don't know. I don't know if like Love Island did her a disservice by like having her in the villa for a half of a night
Hmm.
and then sending her to Casa, because it's
Yeah.
almost like, yeah, once she came back from Casa, Nick didn't care about her no more. Pepe didn't care, wasn't interested. I think Ace, she's like literally way taller than Ace, so I think that that's
Hmm.
why that never worked out. But her getting friend zoned was
Yeah.
like she said, it hasn't really happened to me. Like, so I'm
I
salty. Like, what?
I think Pepe must be playing the game at this point where he's like, I don't want to switch again because we don't have a shot. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work out with Andreina, and I think he feels like Grayson will stick with him and he won't get sent home. But I have a feeling after tonight, a lot of these randoms will be sent home, hopefully, because it's hard to focus. There's too many
It's too
people.
much going on. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, Andreina and Pepe is actually a couple that I could have gotten behind. So it's interesting to
Hmm.
think like maybe Pepe is playing the game and is trying to like figure out his best way to the end. It's like, I think that they are so worried about what we're thinking. Like, you don't even know that like you and Andreina would make it a lot further than you and Graceland would, because if you
Yeah.
stick with Graceland, you're out of here soon. I, I,
Hmm.
I'm,
That's
she's gotten no airtime.
No, that's how you know they're not having exciting conversations. And that's why I think they need to add more America votes type things and like let us put some people together because they did that once with the Jeremiah Iris and I felt like that went well. Then they let the Villa vote and it all went to hell. So like just let
Yeah.
us vote and we
Yeah.
can see from what we're watching, we see who would be like good couples. And I think we
Yeah.
would have all done so much better. Like we would have put Amaya with like Chris and we would have put Zach with Olandria and like we would have done all of this 3 episodes ago. So
Yeah.
they need to give us more power, I
We
think.
get a vote tonight. We get a
Oh,
vote
good.
tonight. So,
Yeah, we saw the first look
yeah.
and it looks brutal. And instead of doing the social media challenge, which I don't understand why they're changing everything, but it looks
What's
like
changing it? The social media challenge was so good.
yes, and maybe they're just trying to work on not encouraging like mean social media stuff. But I feel like I would rather hear it from the outside than inside because what they're doing instead is they're all anonymously writing negative stuff about each other, and they're all crying and yelling at each other. And I think that's worse. But maybe they're worried to get them in their heads too much because I do notice when they do the social media challenge that they hear things, they do kind of act differently after the ones that
Mm,
aren't liked kind of panic. So
mm,
maybe they feel like this creates better drama because you can address who said it immediately or like get mad at each other versus kind of just retreating and being upset that America doesn't like you or something like that. So
yeah.
I see why they did it, but that was the really good part.
It
I feel
was.
like they could show them things that are true and not necessarily mean. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure. I do. Cassie from season 5, she did After Sun on Saturday, and she posted a TikTok today basically saying that she does think that she said that during her season,
mhm.
when Scott came in, he kind of gave her an inkling of what was going on in the outside world. Like he told her about
Right.
her viral moment. So she was like, I wouldn't be surprised just based on the switch up with Amaya, that one of the Casa people let them know that she is a favorite, like, or that the babe thing was a big deal. That's why Ace said it during his heart rate challenge, and then they pulled Amaya to kiss her. She said that she wouldn't be surprised if the Casa people like gave an inkling of what's going on or what they've seen. She did say that production shuts it down right away, that they don't like that, and like if they hear you doing that, they'll shut it down. But she was like, there are when cameras are not there, there are times where, you know, they tell each other stuff. So
well, yeah, because I think I've heard this before, but the reason that we only see them eat breakfast is because they eat all the other meals off the villa, and they separate. I think they separate them by girls and guys, and they eat the lunches and dinner like out of the villa. And so they do have a lot of time not on camera, but they aren't allowed to, I don't know if they're like watched by someone, but they're not allowed to talk about stuff. But they do get that time that they're not being recorded. So I feel like a lot of, I don't know if it's a restaurant or something else, but yeah, that's what I've been told. I'll look it up, but yeah, I'm pretty sure because we only see them eat breakfast, right? And then everything else is catered, and so they get like good food. And I don't know if they're separated completely, like solo, or just girls and guys. Maybe that was perfect match. So I don't know, think about it. But we don't see them eat any other meals, so it might be similar. So
any other meals, like I would assume,
maybe they eat while they go to do the confessionals or something. So
yeah, I mean,
we'll look into it and
like,
get back to you.
Cheesy toast and then potato chips, and even eating snacks and stuff like that. But I do think that they obviously they're eating, so they probably cater food in or whatever. But whatever, that's what she said. She said that on her season, Scott came in and told her about her viral moment, and like everybody started kind of like looking at her and treating her differently because of it. So she's like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where this shift with Amaya is coming from. But I'm like,
well,
the last Villa boys to come in were Casa boys, and nobody picked her, so that wouldn't make sense that they knew that Amaya's popular, because you would think that they would hop on to that.
I know, I do hate to say it, but something did feel a little off about that combo with Chris and Elan, just when he was like, Maya's bad, and he was like, yeah, and she has such a good heart, and like, I don't know, it was feeling a little pandering, even though that is true, and maybe they're just seeing what we're seeing. We love her, right? It could definitely be true, but it does sometimes feel like when the audience is saying something and then a couple days later it's like repeated in the villa, it's hard to not feel like that came from somewhere. And not that they couldn't genuinely feel this way, it was just something with the combo just felt a little set up. But it could have just been as simple as like Elan needs to find a new connection, and he was just looking around at the girls. So
I don't think it's gonna be Amaya, but I don't think that Zach is gonna be Amaya either. So what's our girl Amaya gonna do?
I know, I just don't think her person is in this experience. I feel like she's too genuine for them, to be honest. Like, I think I think a lot of people are there acting a certain way and behaving a certain way to be liked, to be picked. And I think she's just been herself the whole time, right? And so it's hard for that to mix with someone who's like pandering to the audience and like playing the game. So I think her person is not here. I don't know. Are they going to bring more bombshells in? I feel like we get one more right before the end,
we get one more that's like from a past season.
Yeah.
I think that's our,
because they brought Cassie in on the heart rate challenge last time, right?
Yeah. So I think they'll bring in
we're running out of time.
Past cast member for a bombshell. I don't think Amaya's person's there, but she's going to be just fine. She has 1 million followers on TikTok. She almost has 1 million on Instagram. So she's going to be fine, and I think surprised when she gets out of the villa to see how much people loved her. I loved her conversation with Elan talking about the moon and the stars and how she looks up to remind her of her family, and then how she didn't know where Belgium was. Like, she's just so authentic and just pure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's just pure, and I don't think her person's in the villa. I don't think Olandria's person's in the villa. I was really disappointed with Olandria this episode. The fact that, like, for the beginning, it was like, oh, I'm going to close that chapter, to now you're still open to explore. I'm going to explore him, but like, I'm going to prioritize my other connections. You don't have any other connections. And the fact that you're even thinking of still entertaining this man after he told you to your face that Clark gave him a feeling that you were never able to give him.
Yeah. It's hard to see like how they can come back from that. Like, they've had 3 weeks. If it's not there, it's not there. It's not coming. So let it go.
Let it go. He doesn't like you, and that's okay. Not everybody's gonna like you.
Yeah.
You know? Like, like, Shelley encouraged it. Like, she was looking at everybody else, and Shelley's like, oh, well, we're getting one big one, Taylor. No, we're not. Like, why can't anybody see
Stop.
that this man doesn't like her? Like, I'm so confused.
Hmm. Well, that was the other thing I was thinking about with this episode. Like, for so many weeks, everyone was like, why aren't the girls confronting Huda and telling her what she's doing wrong? And I feel like that's what Shelley's doing in this episode, and now everybody's upset about it. So it's like, at least they're telling her that she's upsetting them, you know? And same with like, well, Andrea, it's like, why don't they just tell her? Like, he doesn't like you, let him go. But
They
they're like,
think he likes her. Ashley, I think
yeah.
they think that because there's no way that like Nick can be like, oh, Alandria is like that. She's always been for Taylor. Like, I feel like Ace knows the truth. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
Taylor has told Ace, like, I don't like her. Like, it's not there
Hmm.
for me. Like, that's why you don't see, like, if you just look at how he is with Clark and how he is with
Hmm.
Alandria, it's just, you could tell the
Hmm.
naturally you're kissing, naturally you're hugging, naturally you're cuddling, snuggling. Like, that is somebody who likes somebody versus Olandria. He just doesn't like you. So the fact that she is even willing to explore it just honestly pissed me off. Like, now I want
Yeah.
you to go home. You're my favorite girl, but like, I think it's one of those things where you need to come out of the villa, watch it back, see for yourself, and then
Yeah.
maybe that will help you see it. But right now, like, how stupid and like, remember, like, how blind you're being to it is like annoying me, because remember when Jeremiah picked Iris over Huda, she
Hmm.
was like, well, now he quite literally physically picked somebody else over you, so maybe now you'll get it and let it go.
Yeah.
She needs to take her own advice, because you're also trying to circle back to Zach K, who literally picked somebody else over you.
Yeah. Yeah, she needs someone who comes in there for her. That's why I'm like, her last chance is some amazing bombshell that is coming in with only eyes for her. And we're running out of time for that. Like, it literally has to be like today or tomorrow, or it's
Jalen.
too late.
It was
So,
Jalen. That was her
yeah.
bombshell. It was Jalen, and she missed it, and she needs to
Hmm.
just leave and go find him, because it's
And
just
I feel like that's why she's so upset, is that she picked Taylor over Jalen, even though she liked Jalen more, because she thought that's what America wanted, and she thought Taylor was on the same page. Like, we don't really feel this, but we're gonna stick together because that's what they want. And then when he went off that script, she's mad now because she gave up Jalen for him. He is actually there. That's the thing, is like, we're mad at Taylor for what he's done, but he is being genuine, right? Like, now at least he hasn't been. Now that he's saying he will entertain her still, though, it's like, okay, you lost me again. But for a moment there, he was like, I like Clark more. I don't feel this for Alandria. Good, let her go. But now he's still dragging her along. So,
yes, and I think that the audience, right, it's so crazy that they're just so freaking worried about what we're thinking.
yeah.
Like, people would have respect Taylor so much more if he just was like, it's not there for me. Like, what
Hmm.
can you do
And
but
it will
respect
never
that?
be.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It will never be. It's not there. I've tried to give it a chance, and it's just not there, and it's not growing. And I wish it was, but it's not. I think she's great, but she's just not for me. Everybody would have been
Hmm.
like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or imagine if Olandria would have stuck with Jalen, and then Clark would have came in. Nobody would have get cared. Like, that would have
Yeah.
been what Taylor should have done, and Olandria and Jalen would have been in game, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So, like you
Yeah.
said, next season they need to stop worrying about so much about like what we're thinking, and
Hmm.
just let us. And I think a way to fix that, like you said, is the votes. Like, don't
Yeah.
let the house vote, because they're not voting for the right reasons.
Hmm.
Just let us
Let
do the
us
voting.
play
Yeah,
puppet
yeah.
master.
Let us be the puppet masters. So
Yeah, we know that. Oh, I did just see Vanna was on the Vile Files. Some
ugh.
reason she was in the studio. She's the first one they've had there, probably because she lives in LA. So I haven't watched it all yet. I just saw the first couple of minutes, but she said no fillers, no work done. That's what she said, and that this is her natural bone structure, and that she was allergic to the pillows. So she was having an allergic reaction to the feathers in the pillow. That's what she said. That's what
Ashley, you said that she doesn't have any filler in her lips.
I don't know about that. I didn't get that far. I just know she said I was just started to watch the first couple of minutes, and then we had to do this. So I was like, I'll come back to this, because I was like, she's not gonna have that much tea. But they started right in on the face stuff, which I thought was a bit much, but I guess get right to it. So yeah, she said she was allergic to the feathers in the pillows, and so that made her face go puffy. She looks beautiful on the Bow Bows though, so I mean, but people were saying it was a makeup problem. Like, on the villa, the makeup wasn't good because it was so hot and humid and nasty. Because she looks great on the Bow House, so something. was wrong in Fiji. The pillows, apparently.
Okay, so what
I know you're not buying this, but I'm just
what
saying
I will
she
say
said.
is that when I seen her picture from high school and I seen the
Uh-huh.
bone structure in her face,
Yeah.
I was like, if she's 16 here, I'm gonna assume that she hasn't had any work done. And it
Yeah.
did look like she had work done. But it
Mhm.
looked like it didn't look natural, but it's like if this is her natural bone structure, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I would
Mhm.
assume that she didn't have any work done at 16. Now, you 100,000% have filler in your lip. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
And it was, and what's so funny is that I had, it was, a clip was up right before we started of, it's not here anymore, but it was a clip of her talking about it and I didn't watch it. And I didn't know that that was what was going to be said. It was that she doesn't have any work done on her face.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I only saw a couple minutes, so I don't know what was said after that. I just saw the part about the allergic reaction to the pillows.
I mean,
So,
I can believe that. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at her here on the
yeah, she
vial.
looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks great.
Mhm.
But you
So
have
I don't
filler in
think,
that lip. You have filler in that lip. You have filler in that. You
yeah,
have
I don't
filler
think
in
they
that
asked
lip.
about that. All they addressed was she said, my face looked puffy because of the allergy to the pillow. That's why I look overfilled, but I'm not. So they didn't talk about the lips. So,
Okay, she has filler in her lip, but I could
oh,
see
wait,
like,
wait. They do talk about, she says she has her boobs done.
well, duh.
Hmm.
No
But
filler in
that,
the lip.
I don't think they talk about that.
Okay,
She
because
just said she has naturally high cheekbones.
which again
She does.
in her high school picture,
Hmm.
she does have those cheekbones. But I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you have filler in your lip. You have filler in your lip.
Maybe just because that's so common now, they don't really even like consider. I think what she was addressing was everyone calling her face overfilled, and that was from the pillows. So I think that's where I don't think she was trying to say I have nothing done on my face. I think she was just saying that's why I looked puffy because of the
Okay, I could see
pillows.
that because she did
Yeah,
look a little puffy, and she also did look. It looks like she has a cute little nose too. I wonder if she got her nose done. But some people just have really cute, natural, little tiny
true.
noses. Um,
Hmm.
I could see that, like, because I did see that her makeup was like a little like coming off and like blotchy, and maybe I could see that she was having an allergic reaction. But you definitely have some filler
Uh-huh.
in that face. So,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing what she said about Huda, but she's saying nice things about Huda, so that's good. That she
We
was
weren't
approached
even
her
really
and
there.
I was gonna
So,
say it said she approached her and tried to get to know her, but that might come down to the fact, like you said, that the Villa girls have had enough of Huda, and these are new girls who haven't had enough of her yet, and they're like, let me make friends with them, so I have someone to vent to, right? So
yeah,
yeah, she was
somebody
only there
else
for like
that
a
I could
day. It's
talk
hard
about
to,
myself with.
yes. I'll watch more of it, and then we'll talk about it on our next episode, because I thought she was only gonna be on for like a minute, but it looks like a good chunk. So,
Oh,
and then they had to
interesting.
start. I wish they started with the tea.
She was about files longer than she was on the actual
Yes.
show, but whatever. Like I would have had Coco, and like
Yeah.
Ace and Shelley are one of the bigger connections in the house, so Coco seems like to have
Uh-huh.
there instead of Anna. But whatever, good for her.
We have been trying to get people on. I feel like we cracked a barrier, but we still can't get through. We would love to talk to anyone, but they're going with the big podcast, obviously, the Val Files, the chicks in the office. So we're just too little for them,
We're
but
too little,
maybe
but
one
it's
day,
okay.
next year.
It's okay. Yeah. Y'all be
We're
back
just
because
little
they
guys.
always come back. No, don't worry. They'll be hitting us up. Like, can our guests come on your podcast? And we'll say, you know what? We'll have to see if we can pencil you in. I love that when they circle back, and
Yeah.
you just feel so fulfilled. Like, oh, I remember last year you didn't even want to, like, because last year a lot of smaller podcasts were having some of the cast
Yeah.
on. And I
You're
think
right. Like,
go
it's
ahead.
changed because it got so popular. Yeah, because I'm like, last season we did see them do quite a few smaller interviews. So we thought we had a shot, but it's probably because it's so popular now.
At least with the Casa people, we thought we had a shot because I know like Connor did some and like some of the ones, but it's like before like the season hadn't ended yet, so the popularity wasn't there yet. Now that that season ended, I think it's just harder to get anyone because we thought, okay, well at least we can get the Casa people, but it's okay. Like we said, they always come back. By next year, they're gonna be like, can we get the Love Island winners on your podcast? And be like, we'll have to see.
Maybe. Yeah. We're very busy. We're manifesting
busy.
it.
We're very busy.
Speaking it into existence.
Well, it's like,
like
I just know it. Like we've already come so far and it's only been a few months. Like you guys were interviewing housewives and like we've only been like
it's so exciting.
4 months. Like that's crazy. But yeah.
Yes. We're very proud of and very thankful for all of you for liking us and listening to us. And we're just getting started. So it's going to get better. We're turning down Love Island people next year. I don't know if we'll ever get that big, but
we're never gonna turn down Love Island people, but let us interview somebody because we thought we had one. We thought we had one. We got all excited. We're like, yes, and then they were like, no.
Yeah, we tried, but we're like, we'll take if there's anyone there that didn't get on the show, we'll take them, and like an editor, a music supervisor. Someone's
Zach.
cousin.
We could probably get Zach with
we should chat.
We could get Zach with the C.
I think they all have the same PR like through Love Island, so they're all like not allowed, but some for different reasons than others. I don't know if it's this person that we were trying to get. We haven't seen do any interviews, and it might be more about what they might say versus like we're too small. We'll see if we see them pop up anywhere, but I think they obviously don't want to like promote people to do interviews that aren't going to have something good to say about their stars. So see what happens. But did we get the whole episode? Did we miss any parts?
I was about to ask you that. I think we got everything. All of the big
main parts,
moments. Do you want to tell me about this Secret Lives Mormon Wives reunion?
Yeah, Secret Lives Mormon Wives reunion. It was not that great, only because it started off with them asking Jesse, like, so you slept with Marciano? Like, that's what he said. And her answer was, oh, that's going to play out in season 3, so I can't talk about that. So, unfortunately, the main thing we all wanted to hear about, they couldn't talk about her portion of it, at least. Although at the end, they show a preview for season 3, which was good. And she does say in it, like, why did you lie about us, Marciano? So, and then it makes it seem like basically Demi set it all up for him to lie about Jesse, which I think we've speculated before. So it kind of looks like it never happened. Demi was trying to just take the heat off of herself. So Demi was in Disneyland and she wasn't there. But they do pull up a lot of receipts. So she was texting Marciano, like he was eating oysters and she was texting him, it tastes like sexual things, and it was very inappropriate text, but no receipts in terms of like they slept together. But definitely like there's this whole thing where she said she was a victim of him, and then Jen and Zach record a conversation with Demi and her husband Brett saying like trying to go over like coach Jen on what she should say about the situation, and like basically telling Jen like you should apologize for bringing it up and like say you didn't mean to bring it up, and that Demi and Brett have a very open, communicative relationship, and like I'm jealous of that or proud of them for that. And so nothing really got like addressed. It basically seems like no one slept with Marciano, basically, is what it comes down to. So.
Which is wild because a lot out said that he slept with
Jesse. And they're making it seem like Demi put him up to it just to take the heat off of her. So it's hard because, you know, we did hear them say that they were trying to concoct a big season 2 finale by having Demi say she slept with Dakota. So it's like, did they just do that with Marciano? Because what it's going to shake out in season 3 basically is that no one slept with this damn guy. And it was all just rumors to get us talking.
The fact that this man said, yes, I did. Like, I did it. Like, is crazy because now you just look like a huge liar. And it's like, what relationship do you have with Demi for you to even lie for her on this scale?
Yeah. I know. It's like, did they pay him or something? But really what it is he's on a Hulu show. They're on a Hulu show. It was like, let's get together and make the story to get everyone interested in these two shows. Like, it's not giving authentic at all. Like, if no one actually hooked up with this guy. Like, Demi looks like she sent inappropriate text. So there is a little bit of like cheating there, but yeah, not to the level they've tried to make it seem. So
Interesting.
yeah, and then so something interesting if you're like a Vile Files listener, because Nick Vile was the host of this, is like if someone refuses to go on his podcast, that person becomes like a target that they talk negatively
He
about. It's
hosted
sort
the
of like a
reunion?
punishment. He
He
hosted
hosted.
it.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's really in there. So like he's doing all the interviews, he's doing the reunion. So Whitney famously she refused to go on his podcast this season alone or with someone. She wanted her own interview, whereas they were doing them like kind of like 2 or 3 at a time just because there's so many of them. So she wouldn't do his podcast. So he was like, we already knew going into watching this reunion that he didn't like her or was mad about that. And then he does come for her really hard in the reunion to the point that she calls him out, like, you're really like attacking me here. And so it's hard because Whitney isn't really liked and there is things she needed to be called out on. And so I know we always ask for that in a reunion host, like, please call these people out. So I do appreciate that he called her out. But I know if she had done his podcast and they were more buddy-buddy, he wouldn't have. He just used that as like an excuse. So it was good and bad. I'm glad he asked her these things, but I do know he was mad at her. Like, there's a few people like Lisa Barlow from the Salt Lake City won't do his podcast, and they just like rip her a new one. They hate her. So yeah, if they ever don't like someone, it's usually because they won't go on the show. And then someone who will do his show, like a Sandoval type person, gets a lot of grace because they did the podcast. So I mean, I think everyone's over hating Sandoval, but he gives more grace to those that will show up. Like Michelle from the Valley did his podcast. Jesse won't. They're obviously very hard on Jesse now, but deserved, right? It ends up working out. I think that the biggest villains won't go on the podcast, so they can just hate on them, and it works out. So
How do you think he did as a host?
I thought he was good. Like, he did call her out in terms of, like, he wasn't very hard on anyone else, but then it's like, did anyone else need to be called out? Demi wasn't there, so that made it hard. But he did have a private interview with Demi that they showed clips of where he was very easy on her. He definitely didn't call her out the way he did to Whitney, so it's like, because she did the podcast. So that's where I'm like, he was hard on Whitney, which probably most people think was deserved, but he wasn't that hard on anyone else. Whereas, like, I don't know, obviously we all love Taylor. She's our favorite. But then this whole CMA thing, he did question her a little on it. And there was a point where she cried about like the Dakota relationship. He did go a little hard on that. So I thought he did good. He definitely wasn't like just laughing and letting all the stuff slide. He did like question people on things, which we love in a reunion host. So yeah, he did good. He does interview them all, so I feel like he knows a lot more than someone else might. Like, sometimes they'll bring in someone who you feel like they never even watched the show. So he did seem to like know everything happening. So
that's good.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and Jessie wasn't wearing her wedding ring. So again, things she couldn't talk about. They're coming up on season 3, but I thought it was a little performative because her husband Jordy was there. It's like maybe they're working through some shit, but he's there. They're like, not wearing your ring is just sort of like a way to make people say, oh, you're having problems,
Yeah. Did they announce when
though.
season 3 is coming out?
They didn't, I don't think, but I do know it's like October is what I've heard.
Okay, so
and then they also announced Whitney and Jen are doing Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which I find a little scary for Jen, just knowing she's about to have a baby any day now. And so it starts filming in August, I think. They start practicing in August. So, like, 2-month-old baby. She's got 3 kids, very little kids. It's going to be overwhelming. But
money she can hire.
I was going to say, I think they definitely have the means to make it happen. And obviously, like, Dancing with the Stars is under the same umbrella as their show, so they'll take good care of her. But there was, like, trigger warning, a lot of suicide talk. Like Jen said, she had thoughts of that. And then Layla also had a big package about it. She's had, like, a lot of body dysmorphia issues, and yeah, there was a lot of heaviness to it, like a lot of which we saw on the season.
From Jen was saying from a place of like being overwhelmed from the show, and same Layla from
yeah, around the same time we saw when she quit the show or like took a break, that's how she was feeling. But she said she feels good now. It was prenatal depression, she called
Okay.
it. So, yeah. So now she said she's fine. But yeah, definitely scary for someone struggling with mental health. I don't know. I can't remember if she mentioned having any postpartum depression with her last children, but like Dancing with the Stars, it's not like a reality show where you're just chilling. Like it's like 7 day a week practices and
Yeah.
very overwhelming. So I think it's an awesome opportunity for her. She loves to dance, but that's a little scary just knowing how much is on her plate already from what we saw last season. So,
Yeah.
but she is in the next season. She was in the trailer, so she comes
Okay.
back. She's back. So I
Okay.
think she's good now.
And Layla is in next season too?
Yes. So
Okay.
it looks like they're a little mad at her for being a part of like bringing this Jesse Marciano story to air. So feeling like she's in cahoots with Demi, maybe. So yeah, so it was good, but yeah, a lot couldn't be discussed because it's coming up next season. So it was a good way to get us excited for next season, but definitely could have been like an email. I think it was nothing new was really talked about. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well, then I won't watch it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the recap.
Yes, I got you because yeah, it was a lot of flashbacks and not a lot of new info. But I'm wondering why Demi really didn't go because she said Disneyland. I don't know about that. Like, I think she could have been paid enough to book Disney another day. Like, she said they couldn't get out of like their Airbnb, but I mean, how much is an Airbnb really? Like, I think they could have covered that. I do know that like reunions are a separate part of contract negotiations. They get paid for a reunion. If it's a 3-parter, they get paid 3 parts. So part of me feels like there was the problem there, and that's why she didn't
Yeah.
go. She didn't get what she wanted to
Well, we know
appear.
she'd won all the coin for herself,
Yes.
so she's like, "Oh, you gotta pay me." Like she thinks she's something, so she's
She's the
like,
star.
yeah, she thinks she's the star. So it's like you gotta pay me to attend the reunion. So I wouldn't be
Yes.
surprised if it was that as well. So
Yeah, I agree. But definitely got me excited for season 3. So thankfully that's just a couple months away. So we'll
okay,
be
all
back to
right.
cover
Well,
that.
season 3, we will cover that, and we will also be covering the Ultimatum season 2, Queer Love. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are interested in that, we will have a video on the first 7 episodes that they dropped.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
And obviously, we will be back for Love Island because it comes on tonight. So we will keep
Yeah.
you guys up to date.
Thanks for being here.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.